Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, California Weather Watch. Today is March 23rd, and right now we are looking at yesterday's Doppler radar here across Los Angeles. You can see this storm system really started to beef up here as it crossed Commerce there and dropped a tornado right there, Montebello, California. It lasted for 3 minutes here. See if we put this on pause and back up and look at the velocity scan here. The red is moving away from the Doppler and green is moving towards, and you can kind of see that little couplet there, or that spin in the atmosphere was where the tornado was, kind of shown by this little hook there right by Montebello. So that was that EF1, a high-end EF1, basically 110 miles per hour is what they estimated the wind speeds to be. Had it been 111, it would have been an EF2 tornado. So now we're going to look at this. This is that tornado survey here, and you can see it primarily impacted an industrial warehouse commercial business district. Warehouse roofing material consisted of wood frame structure with plywood and roofing material collapsed. Almost a total roof collapse occurred in one building. HVAC unit was ejected. Skylights broken. Wood beams collapsed. Power poles snapped. The transformer blown off. Cars were damaged. Healthy pine tree with a trunk diameter of over 1 foot or about 1 foot was uprooted. 17 structures were damaged in total. And you can see there 11:14 to 11:17, about 50 yards wide, 2 to 3 minutes. One injury was associated with that tornado. And down here's that scale. You can see EF2 becomes a strong tornado at 111 miles per hour. So right on the borderline of becoming a strong tornado there, moving across Los Angeles County yesterday. Now we're looking at the wider view of things here. Infrared satellite imagery. You can see this cold air moving down into the Pacific Northwest. It's going to clip California as well. Bring some snowfall across the Sierra Nevada. Fairly light amounts, at least what we've been experiencing compared to what we've been experiencing here this year. Back up here across western Alaska, some energy moving over the top of this ridge as well. And it's going to move down across the Gulf of Alaska. Set up shop here off the Oregon, North California coastline as another strong system is going to develop on in through next week and bring precipitation and some winds and mountain snows and all that good stuff here as another strong storm looks to impact the state of California as we go on in through next week. This is looking at current hazards. You'd have some winter weather advisories up. It's going to be some chilly nights coming up here too. Some pretty chilly air moving down across the region here. So have a heads up for that as we go the next couple of days. This is that snow forecast. Nothing too crazy, but it's going to, it's going to add a little bit, maybe 6 to 8 inches across some of the passes, a little bit higher across some of the higher terrain, just minor impacts there. Snow levels 3,500 to 4,500 feet. This is that cold overnight lows here shown by National Weather Service Sacramento. Low temperatures ranging from 26 to 36. Check that out. So this goes all the way through Sunday, March 26th coming up there. Watch out for those early budding fruit trees, for example. This is the snow water equivalent. Look at this. We are at record levels here as we march through the month of March, and you can see that we are now officially the highest snow water equivalent here at the CSS lab here. And yeah, so you can see the bump up will occur here as we go through March. So will we maintain that? We just might. With that next storm system moving in, we could still maintain these snow water equivalent records here as we go on into the end of the month towards April. We'll see how that goes. But look at the green as the median line here. And you can see some of the lower years here way down across. You're looking at snow water equivalent inches, sometimes less than 20 inches, for example. And right now we're up 60 to 70 inches as we speak. So looking at the forecast precipitation, National Weather Service Hanford, this goes all the way out through March 29th here. And you can see the big amounts that we're expecting with that next snowstorm as well, and potentially a little bit for some of the higher terrain through Southern California as well. This is the snow potential here as we go through the next couple of days here. Nothing too crazy again, but we're just going to add to that record snowpack across a lot of the Sierra Nevada coming up. And then as we move on in through early next week, starting about Monday night into Tuesday and Wednesday morning here, we're going to continue to pile up some snowfall across the Sierra Nevada as the storm drops down across Northern California here. We'll take a look at that more detail here in a moment. This is for today here. There is a slight chance of a thunderstorm, mainly North California here. This is looking at 500 millibar heights. This is last night's European run here. This is that system moving down that we saw in the infrared satellite imagery currently. Going to clip Northern California here, and then you see some energy up here, move down across the Gulf of Alaska here, and this one really beefs up, and this one's going to bomb out too. This will probably become a bomb cyclone. It should go through rapid development here off the coastline, and it's going to continue to bring some moisture into the region here as we go on in through next week. So we are going to do it again here, folks. I mean, just a wild and crazy winter/spring here across the state of California. This is looking at 6-hour precipitation. There's Washington, Oregon, California, California there. We're going to speed ahead to that storm system, and you can see this low start to drop down off the coastline here by the time we get into Sunday. About 10, 20, maybe 10, 18 millibars there. And then look at this thing just undergo rapid cyclogenesis all the way down towards a 980 millibar low there. It's probably going to qualify for bomb cyclone status there. I'm kind of taking its sweet time here. Hopefully this doesn't bounce around too much and continue to funnel moisture into the state. That could produce some flooding concerns with any kind of extended moisture with this frontal system continuing to spin off the coastline there. So this looks like another problem here for portions of California, you guys. So heads up, we'll just continue to watch it day by day, but models are in good agreement. Confidence is increasing quite rapidly here as we go day by day. This is the European last night's run. This is mean sea level pressure in the low locations in the ensemble run. So put this into motion here. You can see we've got some ridging out there. A little bit of a break here before this next system rolls in here. But look at that. You can see this low pressure system here in the European. And you can see where the lows kind of set up there in these each individual ensemble members and kind of the bullseye right on the Oregon-California border. But this is going to have a pretty good fetch of moisture with it on the south side as well as some strong gradients. And of course, it's going to have cold air associated with it as well. So you're going to get mountain snowfall with this storm also. And then you can kind of see it just taking its sweet time, not in a hurry to get out of here, which is kind of concerning for flooding potential as we go on in through mid next week. This is looking at precipitable water. And you can kind of see this subtropical air meet up with that troughing there. And there we get that cyclogenesis here. And we continue to point that moisture at the state of California. This could impact areas all the way down through Southern California as well. Nobody's out of the woods just yet. So we'll watch to see what areas across the state are going to get the biggest impacts here as we go on in through early to mid next week. This is the GFS. This is running hot off the presses right now. So I'm going to update it so we get all that recent information. Ridge sets up pretty good agreement there. We do get a break, but then you can see the storm system developing here across the west coast. You know, we're at hour 96 here. This would be early Monday morning, and you can see the system would be undergoing development at this point. So there's pretty good model agreement. That's where the GFS, the 12Z run stops. Let's back it up to the 06Z and take a look at that. Similar time frame there, and you can see the development of that system off the California-Oregon border right there and kind of just hanging out there. It's going to be pumping moisture into the state as we go through, the week coming up here. So looking at this, European total precipitation in inches. This is yesterday afternoon's run, and this is that first system as we go through the day today. Not a big precipitation maker, but, the higher terrain is going to get some snowfall out of this, but nothing like what we haven't been experiencing this winter. And then as we go on in through Sunday night into Monday morning, you'll see that then finally start to get in here Monday night. This is precipitation for the next system starts to come over the area here. And you can see some big amounts, especially across the higher terrain, coastal regions, a lot of Northern California, and that potential exists all the way down through Southern California. We'll see how this system develops, though. Probably going to change back and forth a little bit on what areas are going to be bullseyed with the heaviest amounts. This is looking at percent of average precipitation as we go from December 23rd through March 22nd, 3-month period there. And you can see California doing quite well. A lot of areas up over 200 to 400% of the average precipitation for this time of year, except for the extreme portions out of the southeast there across some of the desert areas. This is 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. This goes through April 1st, again with the bullseye across California, Nevada, and much of the west coast. 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook here. And, here we go. We're still got that above average signal here for much of the state. And yeah, so pretty interesting there yesterday. You guys probably saw the video out there of that tornado tearing things up. And I thought it might get an EF2 rating just by looking at how much debris it had throwing around in the air there. I thought maybe it would get 115 miles per hour, but they decided on 110 there. So just under a high-end EF1, just under that EF2 tornado rating there for the state. But yeah, so we're going to get this cool system marching through here, and then models are in really good agreement with a stronger storm bringing, coming from a polar lobe here. It's going to move across Pacific Ocean. It's really going to deepen quite rapidly, at least according to some of the models here off the coastline. So we'll continue to watch that day by day, but at least we're getting a little bit of a break here. We are going to add a little bit of snowfall here as this system comes through, but at least we're going to have a nice break here before that system starts to make its way in on Monday, Tuesday, and on in through midweek coming up. So stay tuned here. I'll try to prepare you guys the best we can. We'll watch these model runs come in day by day, and we'll try to work out the better details as we get closer to the event. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. Enjoy the break while you get it, and we're turning back to active weather next week. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and we'll do this again.